Yo, what's up, boys? Dan here from DNR Sports. Today we're going to be going over the Pittsburgh Steelers, arguably, in my opinion, one of the most talented rosters out there. We saw them coming straight out of the gate last year, 11-0, but come playoff time, they really fell apart. Went 1-5 in their last 6 games. We're going to go in depth with the numbers here, take a look at their roster, the changes that have happened, the additions they've got, and what I can see for the future. Let's get into it. All right, here's a look at our Pittsburgh Steelers depth chart for 2021. This is May 29th, what we're looking at right here. So we got Big Ben, Mason Rudolph, and Dwayne Haskins, as well as Joshua Dobbs in the QB room. They just signed Mason Rudolph to another one-year deal. Haskins just got picked up off waivers, and we got Joshua Dobbs just got a small little contract too, I saw. So, Big Ben. We got to talk about it. Everyone hated what he did last year. He had 3,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and a 12-4 overall record with the Steelers. Yes, I cannot deny that 12-4 record wasn't really him. It was, the great receiving core he had and the amazing defense that he had that put them in such great positions to win. I can't deny that. But comparatively to last year, he was about a middle of the road quarterback. He was about QB 16 to 17 by most metrics. But everyone was hating on him. Everyone was like, he can't throw it deep, he can't do all this shit. But I think being 2 years removed from that Tommy John surgery is going to be so big. It's like, yes, everyone thinks he's getting older, blah, 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 but he's also getting further removed from that surgery. So getting the strength back in that elbow, as someone who's dealt with like knee problems and a tendon, the longer you heal on it, the more you work it out, the easier it is to obviously come back from. And it's kind of like ACLs and shit. Like the first year back, people are kind of like skittish. They don't want to test their injury. But now that he's 2 years removed, he's like, fuck it, dude. Like I'm giving it all I got. Like I can't be scared anymore that I'm going to re-injure it. That's just not how that works. Like everyone gets more confident as time goes on. So looking at last year once again, he had 6 games of 300 plus yards and 6 games of 3 touchdowns. He still has that upside. We saw in the playoff game. Yes, yes, he threw 4 picks, and yes, he threw the ball. I think it was 68 times, but he did have over 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. Obviously, that was a big play from behind the game, and he kind of was throwing it on every play. But there's that bit of Big Ben that we haven't seen in like 2 years now because he missed one season, and then last season he wasn't there until the end. Um, Another aspect I wanted to bring up in this argument here is 3 years ago, the MVP in 2017 was Tom Brady. Ready for these stats? 4,500 yards, 32 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 13-3 record. He beats him by about 700ish yards through 2 less touchdowns, or through 1 less touchdown, through 2 less interceptions, and had one more win. Is 700 yards like a make or break for an MVP? You know what I mean? Like, is it that different? That was the season where Carson Wentz had an injury at the end, but he was only slightly above 30 touchdowns. So was Russ. I think it's all about the year that we had where, Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert lit it up, as rookies. And then Aaron and Mahomes had like crazy years as well. Tom Brady had a resurgence. Like, all these quarterbacks had insane years where we kind of overlooked this mediocre year from Big Ben. Like, almost 4,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 12-4 record. That's not that bad. That's really not that bad. So, anyways, moving on to next year, I think Big Ben being more confident with that throwing elbow, I think we're about to see a different type of offense. Now, moving on, the big signing, Najee Harris. They drafted him in the first round, pick 24 overall. Najee Harris, obviously very talented coming out of Alabama. The best running back in the draft, clearly by all metrics. We're just gonna have to see if he can fill in that type of Le'Veon Bell role that they've been missing. If he can be that dump off option for Big Ben and allow him to do his thing with the play actions, the Claypools, Juju's, and Dionte Johnsons, we're gonna have a serious issue here for all AFC teams trying to contest Pittsburgh. They kept Benny Snell, Anthony McFarland. They signed Kalen Ballage. Nothing to worry about. Najee Harris is going to get the workload. The sooner they can get him acclimated to the system, the better, man. Just being a running back in Pittsburgh, even James Conner, we saw last year he wasn't great, but his first year at it, he was able to fill in for Le'Veon amazingly. He just slipped right in, and people are like, "Oh, does Le'Veon even deserve the money?" And that's why Steelers let him go. So I think Najee Harris fits in well here. I think this receiving core right here, it's very hard to give me teams that are better. You could probably say like Tampa, probably Falcons, but Julio's going to leave, so not them anymore. Maybe maybe the Vikings or something, like two other teams that I can't think of. But this is a top 5 receiving core. You have Juju Smith-Schuster. I know everyone fucking hates him now, TikTok boy. He's still a quality slot receiver. We can't take that away. He's a good slot receiver. Probably top 10 slot receiver in the league. And then we got Dionte Johnson, in my opinion, AB miniature. Like, this man is slick with the routes. He is slick with the routes. Let's talk about Dionte a little bit. He's very hit or miss. I personally love Dionte, even through his injuries and whatnot. I think he's extremely talented. He's the best route runner on this team for sure. And the issue people have with him is last year he had 11 drops. That was number 1 in the league. We look back at his season, he had 3 injuries in the beginning, one of them being a concussion. I've seen this argument saying that after he sustained that concussion, you could like visibly see him on the field. Like sometimes when he was going for a contested catch, he'd kind of like eke away, and then a drop would happen, something like that. So I totally understand being like a little scared after getting hit in the head to get hit in the head again. But I think after a year of recovery from that injury, and training camp to reimburse that confidence that he used to have, I think we'll see a third year receiver, coming off of besides the drops, a great second year season. Like there's nothing you could say bad about it. He was the target leader of the team. He commanded those targets. He was silky route runner, always open whenever I was watching the games. Dionte Johnson, honestly, on this team is the most talented receiver. And one more thing, we see Davante Adams and Nelson Aguilar. If we remember their first and second seasons, fucking drops galore. That's all they could do. Davante Adams was literally terrible, and now he's the best receiver in the league. I just want to put that out there. You can't judge everyone just on their first and second season when there's that clear route running potential. Like if he was just dropping passes and he was like a fucking Kendrick Bourne and couldn't do anything. I'm sorry, Kendrick, if you're watching my video, but you're not a great receiver. Then it's whatever. But Dionte showed he's more than just his drops. He's actually talented. Anyways, moving on. Chase Claypool. They got the big deep thread, the speedster. He's a thick boy. He's a thick ass boy, dude. We gotta love Claypool. An interesting fact. Let's go look at this Pittsburgh snaps right here. These are the snap percentages for all receivers and any position last year. We see Juju was in on basically 80 to 98% of snaps every single game, around there. Some games 65, but that's probably injury or something. Dionte, a lot of these were injury games at the beginning, but you see at the end, he's also an 80 to 90% guy. Claypool, on the other hand, occasionally you see this game, 91, 86, 81. They all three were able to play 80% of snaps, but other than that, a lot of these are between 70 and like 50%. So Claypool is the clear wide receiver 3. On their 2 receiver sets, they tend to favor Juju and Dionte. So just for your fantasy leagues, boys, understand that if you believe in Claypool that he's going to overtake Dionte or Juju, which I don't think is going to happen because Juju's a slot guy, and I do not think he's better than Dionte. But if you do have that, feeling that he's going to be the alpha this year and he's going to get those 80 to 90% snaps, then you can add on some good production from last year. So if you guys are Claypool fans, I would recommend him in fantasy if you fully believe that. I'm on the other side of this, where I think Dionte is going to still get his 80 to 90, so maybe even 100% snap share by the end of the season, if he can just stay off the injuries. Moving on, we got tight end Eric Ebron coming back. They let go of Vance McDonald. No big deal. He was the backup anyways. Vance never did anything in Pittsburgh. He had that one stiff arm run against, I believe it was Cleveland. That's his career. That's his fucking whole career. Yeah, Eric Ebron, like talent-wise, top 15 tight end, easy. He was solid last year. I actually liked him a good bit, especially towards the end of the season. He really pulled it together for them. We got fullback, obviously Derek Watt, fucking beast. Got the Watt Bros in this team, and then O-line here's where the main analysis comes from. The O-line lost Marquise Pouncey, their center, and Alejandro Villanueva, one of their other O-linemen, and we got some issues here, mainly in the run game. Pouncey was obviously like one of the best centers in the game for a while. It sucks to see him leave for Steelers fans. But they just drafted Kendrick Green, a pretty nasty center out of college. I believe it was the 3rd round. So obviously they feel like they have somebody to fill in that type of role. They still have David DeCastro, one of the best guards in the league. The Villanueva thing really kind of hurts the run game. He was actually the only offensive lineman on the Steelers to get above a 60 run grade by PFF, which is not even good, to be honest. So they were the 31st ranked running O line last year. That's bad. I'm not sure if it was just on them or the running backs also playing a part. Like they had a pretty shit running back room. Like James Conner injured every other week. Benny Snell's not insane. Anthony McFarland sucks. Like this running back room was not stacked last year. Now they have Najee Harris. Hopefully things turn. Hopefully maybe they can implement a little more screen game into this, so they don't have to just run it at the line if that's not their strong suit. But overall, right now, an offensive overview. The pass catching core is second to none. If you include Ebron, this is like insane. Najee Harris, great complementary running back that can catch passes out of the backfield, fits perfectly into the Pittsburgh scheme. Big Ben, middle of the road quarterback that has that 500-yard upside. I still see it with him. He still has it. And then a good pass blocking O-line. Let's take a look at this. This is pressure rate of last year, pressure percentage. We got Pittsburgh coming in at 21.4%. This looks to be about let's see, probably about middle of the road right there. Not terrible, not great, whatever. As I said before, the run blocking part not so great. So this O-line, if you look at it like that, it's probably around the top 20, 22. Nothing special, but the skill pieces around it hopefully can bail them out. Now, looking at their defense, they lost two key players going into this year. They lost Bud Dupree and Steven Nelson. Bud Dupree hurts a lot more. Bud Dupree was the heart and soul of that defense last year, I'm not going to lie. Once he left, actually, hold on. When he left, things didn't exactly go bad straight away because Robert Spillane was able to actually fill in until he got injured. Then things got bad. They were not the same team. As we saw, they won 1-5 in the last six games. They were just not the same team. But looking at it, Robert Spillane is back. I see on the depth chart, though. Let's go take a look at this depth chart. Robert Spillane, right here. They have Vince Williams starting over him. Vince Williams is a lot bigger than Robert Spillane. They're not exactly the same position. I'm not sure why they have it like that, but I do believe Spillane will be able to fill in that Bud Dupree type role. It's going to hurt, not going to lie, that Bud Dupree loss obviously hurts. But the Steven Nelson one can be combated. He was actually a very mediocre corner last year, allowing a passer rating of 107.7 when targeted. That's 62nd overall out of corners. They're not losing much. As we see, they have Cameron Sutton, their new addition, and not new addition, but he's getting a starting role this year. And Joe Hayden, Joe Hayden's the old goat, dude. He's been a beast for how long now? Safeties, Minka Fitzpatrick, Terrell Edmonds. This is insane. A great fucking safety duo. They still have Devin Bush, T.J. Watt, Cameron Hayward, and Stephon Tuitt. Like this defense is still insane. So when we think about it, this defense blitzes. Let's go take a look at this defensive rating. They blitz at a 40.3% ratio. This is third overall. Now let's look at the pressure from defenses. Obviously first, 33.3. This is gonna help the whole team. It's gonna allow Big Ben to have more drives, more possessions because his team is creating more turnovers by pressuring and fucking up the quarterback. So overall, I have no clue. I saw some list on maybe ESPN put it up or something. They had Steelers outside of their top 10 defenses. What the fuck is wrong with them? Steelers easily still top 3 defense. Not even questionable. Easily top 3 defense. Especially with the way they can blitz a quarterback. With a quarterback like Tom Brady, they're gonna have a little more trouble because he's so used to it. He knows what he's doing. But with the younger quarterbacks in these divisions like Lamar and Baker and whatnot and Joe Burrow, like they can abuse the shit out of that. Now, obviously, we are a fantasy-oriented channel, so let's take a look at the underdog current ADPs for each of our offensive starting players. So, first up, we got Big Ben. His ADP is 186.7 overall. He is, by the looks of it, around the last starting quarterback to be drafted here. There's no exact number, but it looks like about 28. That's terrible. I don't know why it's so low, to be honest. Like, Zach Wilson, Zach Wilson should not even be close to being above Big Ben. That's just obvious. He has no weapons in New York. Big Ben actually has weapons. It's a better team. What the fuck are they thinking? Terrible. But I think he's a little bit undervalued there. I think he should be like a top 23, 24 quarterback. Um, I think with a lot of upside too. Like he's one of those quarterbacks you're going to draft thinking it's for storage. But as the season progresses, and as I think the Steelers do very well, you may see him being a top 10 quarterback midway through the year. I'm not going to lie. All right, next up, running back Najee Harris going at 17.7 overall, the 13th running back off the board. I got to say, this is pretty accurate. I would take him over Gibson, Hilaire, Swift, Dobbins, Sanders, yeah. Carson, yeah. I think he has a lot more. He's about the same floor as all of them, but I think he has a lot more ceiling. You can get that Le'Veon Bell type ceiling with Najee Harris, I believe. I wouldn't. I would take him over Mixon to be honest, but I think everyone else above that. I'd take him over Cam Akers. But everyone else above that. That's good. Cam Akers is so damn high. What the fuck? How are they taking Cam Akers over Chubb, Jones, and Eckler? This is full PPR. What the fuck? Anyways, all right, now we got receivers. Dionte Johnson, of course, being the number one because he gets the most targets by far. 58.4 overall ADP. I do, looking at these receivers above him, Chase, that's out of pocket. No way you're putting Chase above him. I'll take him over Lockett. I'd probably take him over Kupp and Golladay, to be honest. He just gets ridiculous amounts of targets. Everyone else, I'd probably take him over Lamb, to be honest. Lamb's been going way too high in these drafts. But yeah, I think that's a pretty decent ADP. Just a couple people you take him over. Now we go down to Chase Claypool, 68.5, about 10 picks later. Probably a decent spot. We got Juju over here at 79.6, 10 spots after that. I do think Juju is probably a better floor than Claypool, as we saw with the snaps. He is the favorite receiver. He will be on the field more. I think they have similar ceilings. I don't think Claypool's a better ceiling. We saw what Juju did with Big Ben 3 years ago. I know it had AB, but if Dionte could do that AB type stuff, we don't know what Juju's capable of. So I think Juju is the slightly better play than Claypool. I know Claypool's a new fun toy, but for ADP's sake, I would actually take Juju over Claypool. All right, for tight end, watch how far I have to scroll, boys. Watch how far I have to scroll. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Eric Ebron all the way down here. ADP 190.2. This is a fucking joke. If you're this close to Mo Alley Cox, you got to retire. Like, this is a joke. He's better than Kmet, better than Everett, better than Cook, better than Jarwin. Fuck it. Like, what? Jarwin has not done anything. Better than Troutman. Troutman is god awful. I hope people watching this video, I hope you're the people who played Troutman at 2.5K on DraftKings that one week when he was the dirt minimum, and everyone's like, oh, Troutman, he got you fucking zero. You remember that? Now they're drafting this guy at 144. Come on, guys. What are we doing? Everyone after that, probably better. Like Irv Smith's getting all the love. No, stop with that. I don't care that Kyle Rudolph's gone. Like, this man has to compete with some serious. Dalvin Cook will get all the goal line work. It's not like Irv's just going to be a beast in the red zone. Adam Thielen gets half the red zone targets anyways. Like, come on, let's stop with that nonsense. TJ Hawkinson, obviously, you take him over, but like TJ's going too high. Let me just rant about that. Detroit, when you're on Detroit and you get that one red zone attempt per game, you have fun with that going to Hawkinson. No. But anyways, Ebron's too low. Austin Hooper also way too fucking low. Like, way too low. These ADPs are terrible. Guys, go on Underdog right now and just take advantage of these awful ADPs. You're drafting against some not so smart people out there. They got like, $3 best ball, $1 best ball. You can just hop in and do some shit with that. Get some good practice in. That's what I've been doing. But other than that, boys, I think, one last quick thing. If you guys want to see the Steelers transactions, take a screenshot of your screen right now. I'm just going to scroll down for you guys until like about January. This is just something helpful that I use just so I don't have to, be scouring the internet for every signing or like you're terminating Steven Nelson. I don't have to see all that anywhere else. It's just all right here. Just, for you guys' ease if you had any other questions about that. All right, boys, this has been a bit of a longer video for the team review, but I think this is one of the most, what's the word, like in-depth, I guess, quirky, sporadic, I don't know, weird team there is. This one has a lot of different upside downside variables that we have to count for. A lot of talent, but also a lot of moving pieces here. So overall, my prediction for next year, I do believe Big Ben gets healthier. I believe they can use Najee Harris a little more like Le'Veon Bell than they've been using James Conner. And I think these receivers such as Dionte Johnson really blow up. I think the defense takes a slight step back from last year. total pressure-wise, but I think they're still a top 3 defense. Overall, I think they have a similar record, 12-4 to last year, and I do still think they're the best team in that division. I know everyone's on this Browns hype train. I do have to still give it to the Steelers. But anyways, leave a like on this video, boys. Give me a comment. Let me know what's up. I know you guys like that Panthers video. I'm trying to bring all these teams to life here. I'm trying to go with the most interesting teams first. I think San Fran's going to be next. I really like what San Fran's doing. That's a very interesting scenario with Trey Lance. But yeah, guys, subscribe if you're new around here. We're trying to hit 100 subs by the end of June, hopefully. That'd be pretty dope. Turn on your post noties so you guys catch all of our videos. Of course, we're doing daily uploads. All of draft season, all of the NFL season. I can't wait until DraftKings is here so I can make some DraftKings and FanDuel videos for you guys. But yeah, I'll see you boys later. Peace.
I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right.